through their NHD and get their reward.
The time by National Housing Trust is 8 o'clock.
Find Central Pitchside, brought to you by HChem, AIM Financial Services, Texaco, and Connex.
It's down to business. The Manning and the Costa Cups take a twist. The semi-finalists are to be decided, and we look at who have made the list so far and who still stand a chance to be in the last four. Welcome to Fan Central Pitchside. I'm Renaldo Adams. Nathan Curtis and Michalia Cowan are out today, so Gio and I are here to bring you your favorite schoolboy football show. Gio, welcome, boss.
Have you opened up from the last debate, eh?
Bro, the show just start. The show just start. Well, go on, you alright?
Well, I'm good, man.
You good?
I made it.
Alright,
good. Everything go on?
We're there,
All right, we'll must drop out.
Mona High are in danger of losing their Manning Cup title. They face a must-win game against the Kingston College on Saturday if they are to stand a chance of making it to the semi-finals. After a shock 3-1 defeat to Tivoli Gardens High on Tuesday, Mona are last in Group A on 1 point. Mona High's assistant coach, David Peralta, says his team has a big job to do.
We'll keep the boys' heads up because going to the last game, definitely it has to be a must-win situation, and we're still in with a fairly good shot. Having worked it out like you did a while ago, we are in with still a good chance. Still possible. We definitely would have to win the game against KC, and then hope that JC doesn't give the game to Tivoli.
Gio, 3-1.
3-1.
3-1? Yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
The bottom of the group, quarter-final stage.
So some people say this is a shock, but I think as you and I were discussing before, when you get to the quarterfinals, and especially given what Tivoli would have done through the course of this season, any team can really beat any team. Mona were a lot of people's favorites. I know that they were Nathan's favorites.
They were my favorites.
They were your favorites. Yeah. But again, any team can beat any team. And I think what makes this even more enticing is that KC lost to JC. So Mona now playing KC, one of those teams, they have to win that to have a chance of going through. And the team that loses is more likely going to drop out, and that's looking at KC and Mona. These are two teams that were in the semi-finals last year. So again, it's a bit upsetting. A lot of fans will be looking at this and thinking that, okay, but Tivoli Gardens definitely on merit this year, and 3-1, the result speaks for itself. A big win. JC looking for some revenge this year. And
remember, we had this was touted as the group of death. Yeah. And so far, it is delivering.
This could be the semi-finals.
It is delivering. And the truth is, Gio, the unfortunate situation for Mona is that they don't have their own fate in their hands.
Yeah.
As you mentioned earlier, they would need favors from other teams, and of course they would have to win their match. Well, they'd have to win their match and hope that other teams help them, right?
And it's a rivalry game because last year Tivoli and JC, they played in the quarterfinals. I think JC would have be defeated Tivoli, and from the year before that as well, there was some animosity between both teams, so a rivalry. And again, you're looking at Mona and JC. Last year when Mona was celebrating their Manning Cup and they were passing by JC, hula baloo, that type of thing. So this group is a hot group.
Certainly.
Big group,
So Mona, they need Tivoli to lose to Jamaica College, and there is a mathematical chance for them and their title defense, which is right now seemingly hanging by a thread.
All right, from where I am, it's still 2 games to play. So if they beat JC and they beat KC,
well, it's actually one game.
It's one game.
One game.
So they're okay, wow. So again,
maths now.
Save that. But if it is indeed one game, then definitely it's hanging by a thread, because wow.
Yeah, so they need to win.
Yeah, man, they need to win. They need to win.
Because they drew one and they lost one. As a result, that's why they're on 1 point. And they have one more match remaining. Put you up on the spot now, boss. Are they going to win that match? Let's not even touch on if they're going to get the favors from the other teams.
So Mona,
are they going to get over the line?
Mona against Casey. I think Mona can beat Casey.
Mona will beat Casey. That would leave Casey on 3 points. So
and Mona would be on 4 points. And Tivoli would be on how many points?
Tivoli's on 3.
And JC's on how many points?
4.
4. So that means they need JC to defeat Tivoli.
Stick it, don't it?
But the thing is, again, as I said to you before, I know that JC and Tivoli aren't necessarily the best of friends with regards to schools. So I don't think JC will go into that thinking that, they may rest players, but they'll still want to go into that game winning because they want to go through. So I don't think JC is going to go into that game thinking, okay, we're going to take it easy upon Tivoli. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be so there's still that chance for Mona. But for Mona, though, to come from where they were last year and having to rely on a favor, that's
it looks so pretty.
Good at all.
But speaking of Tivoli Gardens, they responded well to that 5-0 defeat that they got from Kingston College in the opening game of the quarterfinals. They showed resilience and courage against Mona to get the victory. And head coach Christopher Nicholas is aiming for a semi-final spot. Listen up.
We're still in the battle, so we're not out. Losing the first game, we're not out. So we win both games, we're in the semi-final, no matter the result of the other teams. Win both games, we're in the semi-finals.
So everything depends on this game. Tivoli's fate, Mona's destiny, and JC's future, as well as because if they lose and Casey beats Mona, it will be Tivoli and Casey that progresses. And really and truly, Gio, the group isn't settled.
No, the group is not settled at all.
JC are favourites, having beaten Tivoli in 4 of the last 5 meetings.
And because they played on opening day last year, Last year they played on opening day, and I thought it was a very close encounter. JC beat Tivoli Gardens 2-1. So it was a very close encounter. And again, I think since then, there is this narrative in the Tivoli camp that JC people, them hype and them always a show off. So and Tivoli, seen as an underdog school, wants to come up and kind of try to prove that, listen, we can beat this school. I think for JC's they're not going to want to lose this game, so Tivoli can have something to say. Okay, So again, I think if I'm Mona, there is still a chance. At the same time, I don't think Mona wants to do JC any favors because year before last year,
JC don't want to do Mona any favors.
JC doesn't want to do Mona any favors because year before last year, JC Manning Cup champions. Last year, Mona took the title from them.
So Ligani buzz right now.
And then there's also that little dynamic between Craig Butler himself, who is also a former JC man. So again, this group is a group of man. There's a lot of
kind of look JC-ish still.
No.
Looking at it, maybe the fans at home
this is a grey shirt. This is a grey.
I'm certainly seeing the blues.
You in a blue, boss. This is blue.
Nonetheless, we're going to shift from blue to red. Campion College are on the verge of history, Gio. Zine, they face Heidel in their final Group B game on Saturday, knowing that a win will see them progress to the semi-finals for the very first time. Nathan Curtis's Campion College.
Yeah,
Me not lie. Campion has impressed me.
We were there with the CVM team when Campion got, I think it was 5 or 6 from KC. And I thought to myself, okay, done and dusted. I thought they would have gone through, but I definitely wasn't thinking that they would have gone to the quarterfinals, which is weird because last year, I think Campion went to the second round last year and marginally got defeated by KC. And I thought, okay, progression, this year they're going to do better. And that game kind of dampened my hope, but definitely this game, you would have seen that through the course of the quarterfinals, it's a big chance. Champions Cup football on the line for Campion. I know Campion would love that. Campion is a school that we've been talking about, talent, but they're always losing talent. And they've still lost talent this year. Don't get me wrong. But still, they have managed to be competitive and they're now into the semi-finals. It'll be a big thing for them. Very, very big thing for them.
Certainly. Let's now go into this break by reviewing Campion College's 2-0 win over Excelsior High.
Campion came forward, catch and roll to Tyler Faulkner. Stutter step, bang! On target. That's how you open scoring. Faulkner, like a marksman in the 21st minute. What a strike it was outside of the box. Another look at it. More affliction for Excelsior. Les picked it up and fired. Salmon beaten. Less is more. Another goal for him, 10 for the season, and the second for Campion. And that was the end of scoring in.
Well, tough game. As I said before in the pre-game interview, Campion is a quality team, despite what the history would have said, and they showed it today. One of the things that we identified in the game, that the Campion team was very good in the attacking transition. Both goals came as a result of mistakes, but yes, they did something well in terms of attacking the spaces quickly in the transition, and credit to them for that.
The plan was to come here and get 3 points, because we needed it. The boys went out, started a bit shaky, went out and we executed properly. They got a few chances. Fortunately for us, they didn't convert, but we got our chance and we converted them, so you see the result.
Merry Christmas from Edgecombe Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time.
People don't bother feel like you can predict who is going to be in the shop with me. A ship carry you back at You're controversial. How old were you?
8 years old.
Now we're contemplating. These are the digits. What kind of episode this was? Another junction in life.
I have 2 left foot then, sir.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, man. See the buckle of the Nigeria now. This is my show, and you will not drop word from me.
They even know them things.
TJ, I can't say that no. You're going to mash up somehow.
You know, say Bauer was really there ready to make your cut.
So, where you cut before? The cut, okay.
Now I'm where I want to be.
The Cut is brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back to Fan Central Pitchside. We are now moving over to the DaCosta Cup. So, while Glenmuir are the first team to move into the semi-finals, the remaining 3 spots hang in the balance following action from the second round of quarter-final games on Wednesday. Garvey Maceo put themselves in a good position to advance from Group B after beating Monroe College 3-0.
It wasn't his fault that he didn't get that. And you hear me how many times I've called the name Swaby, and that's why he's the player of the game. But then O'Brien took over, and a weakened defense. He just ran through the heart of it. Lovely run, sidestepping 3 defenders before slotting calmly home. That's 1, that's 2, away. And as the third came, Brian. And Garvey looking to make this one safe. From back to front, 1 punt over the top. And it was Swaby on this one. Cutting back and playing inside there to Mundell, who then played it across. And that finish from White, the substitute, was exquisite. Calm, composed, and in the end had more precision than power. But Swaby to Mundell and White, 90 plus. Swaby again with starting this one. Playing that through to Wilton Williams. And Williams in goal. Jason from Monroe will want to cover his face in the mud, because that's a howler if there is one. And the substitute who came onto the park, Marquise Jones, made it extra safe. Lovely flick up in the air there from Swaby to Wilton Williams. And then
I think it was a disappointing performance in the second half. We would have wanted to get something out of the game. Unfortunately, we didn't, but we regroup again and go again.
And we are here for a reason, but we know that we created other chances, but when we got the first goal, we just emphasized on the players to just keep the ball, to move the ball around, to create some more spaces, and then to break the lines, and that's what the boys did.
So here's the group. Garvey Maceo, they lead 4 points. Central and Ocho Rios in second and third on 2 points. Monroe College at the bottom of the group with the solitary point. All 4 still in it. The top 2, of course, going on to the semi-finals.
Garvey Maceo need only a draw in their final game against Ocho Rios High to advance to the last 4. Gio, you always say that Clarendon, there's a particular strength in Clarendon as a parish. And with Glenmuir already progressing to the semis, there's a big possibility that that we will have 3 Clarendon schools in the semi-finals.
Yeah, before last year's beating finalists, Central, and the Champions Cup champions, defending champions, Glenmuir. I mean, the name that is not on that list, Clarendon College. But yeah, you know.
The name.
Right? Yeah, they'll be playing in the Ben Francis Cup. So they're still in schoolboy football, but just not at the
to a lesser extent.
The creme de la creme that they want to be. But yeah, man, Clarendon has always had a big amount of talent and quality, and we've always spoken about that. And I think to kind of speak about that now is to belabor the point to a certain extent, because we know what to expect from Clarendon. The teams I want to talk about is the likes of, Garvey Maceo, the likes of Ochi Reyes, the likes of Froome from coming out from West.
McGrath.
And McGrath, man. Yeah, McGrath in particular. McGrath, a school that I spoke about earlier. A lot of people spoke about, I'm not say I. A lot of people mentioned, and they are now doing some good stuff, and they could go through to the they still have the chance there for them to kind of go through. So yeah, it's a good look in the Costa Cup this year.
Who do you think poses the biggest threat from the possible contenders that will join Glenmuir in the semis? Who poses the biggest threat potentially to Glenmuir?
When you look at it, it has to be one of their neighboring schools in Garvey Maceo or Central. I think McGrath could also do something. I think it has to be one of those two teams. Garvey Maceo is a team that for the longest while has always been consistent and competitive and always pushing whoever the school is from Clarendon that has been at the top. Garvey Maceo has always been there to push them consistently. Central is a school this year that has looked significantly better than they would have looked last year, recapturing some of their form from the previous season. So I definitely think that there is a strong possibility. Monroe College was unbeaten for the longest time, and they've come to this stage of the competition, and they've faltered a bit, play. They've drawn one of their games, lost one of their games.
Yeah, they lost to Garvey Maceo yesterday on Wednesday, 3-0, and all the goals. When I was watching the game, it seems like the Monroe players just got leggy after a while, and the Garvey Maceo forwards and attackers were just navigating through the defense easily.
Yeah, and the thing is, Monroe can, even if Monroe don't go through, which it seems like they probably won't go through, they can still be proud because this is the first year and a new project that they would have started. Last year, if they had gone to this stage of competition, they would have been so excited last year. Getting to this stage this year, outlasting Stets, a school that is their perennial rival in St. Elizabeth, I think is big for them. So the thing is, I think with this year in schoolboy football, there are a lot of schools that if they were to drop out in the quarterfinals, they cannot be disappointed because it's a very good run for them. A Froome, a Ochi Reyes, a Monroe, these are schools, if they drop out in the semi-finals, obviously, the quarterfinals. Obviously, if you get to the quarter, you want to go to the semis, you want to win the competition. But if you were to drop out at this stage, I can't feel too bad because it's a clear sign of linear progress.
Yeah.
As opposed to where they were last season.
Correct.
Yeah.
We'll speak more about Glenmuir in our next segment, Team Talk, as they top Zone A. But who joins them in the last 4 is a question that will be answered over the weekend. Stets with the best chance to join Glenmuir from Group A. They play each other on Saturday, and the Stets only need a draw. McGrath, however, must beat Froome to have a chance. Group B is a bit more open with Garvey Maceo playing Ochi Reyes, while Central on 2 points and Monroe College with just 1 battle in a must-win match for both teams in Group B. We go to a break with the results from today's Walker Cup and Ben Francis Cup matches. When we return, it's the big debate.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Welcome to the ZZ Lottery Draw for 8:20 p.m. Thursday, November 14th, 2024. The one-drop winning number is 13. The hat-trick winning numbers are 5, 2, 8. The foreplay winning numbers are 6, 0, 3, 8. The Lucky Day Lotto winning numbers are 6, 8, 7, 13, 11. The fireball is red. Thank you for playing with Izizi.
Schoolboy Football, September 7 to December 14 on CVM TV. ISSA Schoolboy Football is brought to you by EdgeChem, AIM Financial Corporation, Connex Services, Texaco, and Jamaica Stock Exchange.
What do these people know that you don't know? They understand how listing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange can improve the profitability of their company. They know the potential for increasing the company's capital, the governance requirements, the tax responsibilities, the ownership implications, and the procedures for listing. They have the knowledge to make an informed decision on whether or not to go public. Knowledge is power. If you don't know, you can't act. Begin a conversation with the Jamaica Stock Exchange to gain the information you need to make a decision.
I'm Stafford Burrows.
I'm Marilyn Burrows.
My name is Hugh Graham.
I'm John Mafood. My name is Derek Cottrell, and we are listed on the Jamaica Junior Stock Exchange.
Give us a call today at 876-967-3271 to begin your transformation through conversation. We want to see your company listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Welcome back to Fan Central Pitchside. We now move into the debate. Over the last few weeks, the schoolboy football season has seen several disruptions to games due to adverse weather conditions. Heavy rains have long affected the schoolboy football season, with the competition being held during the hurricane season. So today, we're asking, should ISSA consider staging the competition earlier in the year to avoid bad weather? Well, being that it's just Gio and I today, the producer will pick the winner. Hopefully there will be no bias. Gio, should ISSA start the season earlier?
I mean, no. I don't think ISSA should start the season earlier, because earlier would cut into the summer break of these players. And I think, listen, every time we have a debate, I think for me it has always come back down to the fact that it's a schoolboy football competition.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a schoolboy football competition, I think it's best to be done during school times. School times. And for this debate, listen, there has to be no winner. We can both win this debate,
Bro, they would even start it. Why are you conceding?
No, I'm not conceding. I'm just trying to get some peace. So I get peace.
Oh my. Anyway, let me not say I agree with you, but it's not starting it earlier. I think it would be starting it later, because as you mentioned, if you start it earlier, that would be July, August. The hurricane season ends on November 1st or November 30. Yeah, November 30, right? So you're looking at Christmas time, and once you pass Christmas, what time is that?
January.
Champs time. So then now you have... My boss, I'm argue my point.
Finish your point, yeah, man.
So then now you will have schoolboy football potentially impeding on champs and track and field season.
And a lot of boys who do football also
running
at champs. Yeah.
So It's sticky. It's a very sticky one.
Yeah, again, as I say, a lot of these debates always come back down to schoolboy football. So if you say start the season later, you're talking about November, plus you have exam time in December. Granted, sometimes but granted, sometimes exceptions are made for some of these boys to kind of do their exams and so on. But I don't think the season should be extended. I don't think it can be extended. Because where would those matches go? You're cutting into summer.
That's what I'm going to say. It's not like we have indoor. We have what overseas call them? The stadium with the.
Yeah, you have them AstroTurf the inside.
No man, the one with the roofs. The ones with the roofs.
I don't remember the exact name, but we know where it's at. You know the new Bernabeu and Tottenham and them.
Them type of stuff. We don't have those resources. Retractable roofs.
Yes,
retractable roofs. But we don't have that. What are we going to do? Because I don't remember which match last week. Was it the Glenmuir match that was delayed by an hour or an hour and a half due to rain? The match at Stadium East. There was a match at Stadium East.
So I think there's a general question to be had about football and the surfaces in Jamaica and the facilities in Jamaica. What we can do is that we can have some facilities, and not just for schoolboy football, but for Premier League national team that are indoor with proper drainage system, so that if rain begins to fall, unless it gets to everywhere, you have lightning and thunder, which in all parts of the world,
match
call off, then fine. But if it's just rain alone, once you feel a proper drainage,
okay. So you're saying
you remember last year when I think it was Canada was supposed to play Jamaica National Stadium. I remember rain was falling and stadium pitch, the match could not be played on the Friday because stadium the pitch was basically like a river. So again, it comes down to like an infrastructural issue with regards to football in Jamaica. We need to have services where rain alone should not be the deciding factor. And if we can decide that rain's gonna fall, then we can say, all right, cool, just in case we're going to host at this venue, and we'll host so much at this venue. And now, again, probably if it's not the latter stages, there's a lot of games being played. So probably it's going to be impossible if it's a lot of games, but it still kind of mitigates some of the issue. And but we just can't control it.
But Gio, we also have to take into consideration that the communities where some of these players come from, those are also exposed to flooding. With heavy rains.
Yeah.
So, all right, you're going to fix the pitch. And what else?
Where the water will go. Listen, man, that's why we have the organizing bodies. They're the ones that are supposed to be solving these issues. You know, I'm just a football analyst. But again, man, I still think rain should not be the only determining factor. I think those in power, those in charge.
I'm a boss. But you say infrastructure, Zine, but it still leads back to the bigger point. Where's there's going to be flooding regardless, right? So this is a fix that needs fixing, right? And it will take some time, obviously, because we literally can't do anything about the weather. But we're going to wrap the debate right now. As I mentioned previously, the producer is going to pick the winner. So, Mr. Producer, Mrs. Producer, well, Miss or Mrs. Miss Producer, talk to me. What go on? Is that draw? Oh, we meet it. Yeah, man. First draw for the season.
I don't mind that. Football win today.
Yeah, football win. It's time for a break right here on Fan Central Pitchside. But when we return, it's time for Team Talk featuring Glenmuir High. Keep it locked.
In need of a loan? AIM Financial is the place to go. We have loans from $20,000 to $3.3 million. Get a loan to pay school or college tuition, medical expenses, bills,